Testing. Okay, I just unmuted my microphone. I'll mute myself now on the phone. Okay, do you read me, Tony? I just opened the options menu. Okay, Okie dokie. Let me know if you see anyone else joining the chat. But I think I should get a pop-up about that too. We could. Or let's just do options, controls, graphics, audio, graphics, controls, graphics. And then does. I mean, between audio and gameplay. It's from when you speak and hear your response seems like, I think it's like 10 seconds or so streaming delay. But I'm using the PS5 controller microphone that's tied into their broadcasting system. So it should all be linked together fairly smoothly. At any rate, let's just go to a new file and start a new game. Check this out a bit.
What word comes to mind when you think of the Earth? For some, that word might be beautiful. Others might say the world is hateful, or evil, or unstable, or full of shit. But above all else, the word that best describes our world is resilient. Against the odds, time and time again, creatures adapt to make the most of their given environment. Some learn to feed on others, stealing their vitality for their own. Some become scavengers, living off what strangers leave behind. And others still, as we will soon see, would prefer to be simply left alone.
Go away! No one's home!
Sir, please open up.
Oh, you're not a bird.
Sir, are you the owner of this residence?
You mean my shell? Yeah, it's mine. Do you like it?
I represent the Royal Duchy of Slacktide, which has recently annexed the territory surrounding and including this tide pool. I'm here to inform you that you have outstanding taxes that date back in upwards of 10 tides. If you are presently unable to pay this balance, the duchy will claim you home until you...
Hold on. I've got some questions. First of all, what's a duchy? Also, taxes?
Okay, so basically, the Duchess of Slacktide owns this whole area now. And she puts a lot of effort into keeping it safe. So, everyone who benefits from that has to abide by her rules and pay up once per tide.
There's still plenty of birds here. I don't know if it's really safe.
Look, kid, I don't have time to argue political nuances here. I've got a lot of tax evaders to get to. You gotta pay up right now, or I'm gonna have to repo your property. Got it?
Okay. I think I've got a hard kelp or two around here somewhere.
A lot of invisible walls here in Tutorial Town. Or he thinks he does. So yeah, most of the game isn't voice acted, unfortunately, because what voice acting there is good. But that opening scene was in some other important moments. Alright, so let's go get our heart kelp pods, while we try hard not to be delicious to seagulls. Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie chimes. Found your stash of heart kelp. AKA Estus kelp. So hopefully this is enough for taxes, whatever those are. I've tried to explore this area a little bit, and there's invisible walls everywhere. You can't really do much. But yeah, this is our little tide pool beach home. If we check our status, this is our home shell that we're wearing. Yeah, I know this isn't much, but what the shell is this? They're hard kelp pods. Don't tell me you don't even like hard kelp. I hope you're joking. No one uses these dumb things as money anymore. The ocean's moved to the trash standard now. Trash, you got it? Trash? So, like, no pearls either? No shiny pirate coins? That's right, none of that crap. So you better find some bread clips or some sauce packets back there. I'm losing my damn patience. Look, if you just give me a couple more tides. Alright, I've heard enough. Say goodbye to your shell, idiot. Wait! Oh, crab! Yeah, the stowaways are kind of like the Hollow Knight charms. Get back here, you son of a bitch! Who is inexplicably teleporting through the ground from the plastic shark toy thing that it clearly is. No, we never get an explanation for that. Or how this thing works. No secrets around this starting area I've looked, so... You can't do this to me, man. How am I supposed to stay safe from all the birds and stuff around here? Not my problem. You want your shell back, you better go get a job and pay off. I hear they're always hiring in the reef. The reef? Isn't it super busy there? I don't want to talk to people. Again, really not my problem. I don't care where you get the trash from, but I'm keeping this until you do. See you later. Oh, crab. We've entered the Great Blue Abyss. Hopefully everyone down here is more friendly than that asshole. You can hold X while you're jumping to swim through the water. Slow fall, basically. So yeah, there's a lot more of a platforming element in this than in most Souls-likes. Undid my mistake. And picked up a bread claw. A small chunk of plastic in the shape of a crab's claw. Maybe this has some value. Sold for 250 microplastics. Let's just move on along. Oh, hey, it's another crab. Excuse me, sir. Did you see a really tall shark pass by carrying a super awesome, dope-looking shell? Work? That's what I'm trying not to do. That's what I gotta catch up with. Worthless. Holy crap, what's wrong with your eyes? Have you been sleeping enough? Oh god, get away from me! Ah! We don't have a weapon yet, so no choice but to run. Oh god! Oh god! Sweet mother of pearl! The zombie crabs are out to get my giblets. My tasty, tasty giblets. Yeah. Hopefully they can't climb this netting, or can they? No, they can't. Sheesh, I think I lost them. I knew the ocean could be sketchy, but I had no idea it was this bad. I guess it couldn't hurt to have a way to defend myself. This thing seems like it could do a little damage. If anyone else attacks me, I guess I'll poke him with the pokey bit. Might as well give this bad boy a few practice swings. Found a rusty fork. I'm not sure if this is like an escargot fork or something, or a shrimp fork specifically, or just a random fork. So yeah, light attack and heavy attack. Oh, and mid-air spin attack. And you can unlock some other attacks later, like a plunge attack and a dashing stab. We can break glass bottles now, trying to obstruct our progress. As well as show these assholes what for. And R3 to lock on, obviously. 25 microplastics from his dead body. Dodging attacks. At least for the basic enemies, yeah, was pretty quick to kill. A flurry of quick attacks is pretty much enough for most of these really tiny early enemies. Most enemies have a bit of a stun in reaction to getting hit too, so you can sort of stun lock these guys. There's a limit to how long you can swim for, but sprinting doesn't do anything, and no, there's no stamina for attacking or anything. It's one of the simplifications compared to a lot of other Souls-likes that makes it kind of easier in some respects, but also less stressful. And, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, and Yahtzee didn't seem to be a big fan of the platforming elements in this game, but I think they're fine. Never found them too frustrating. Whoa, what's that thing? The currents start getting warm close to this little platform. It's kind of comfy. Maybe I could rest my feet here for a little while. Go into the spiral, my child. Touch the current of the universe. Moon snail shell found. Moon snail shells. Touch these glowing currents to restore a long-forgotten moon snail shell, which you can rest in to restore your health. If you're slain, you'll revive at the last one you stay at. Be sure to activate everyone you can. Yeah, these are basically the bonfires of the game. So at them you can level up by spending your microplastics. Powering the moon snail shells allows you to purge microplastics from yourself, gaining strength in the process. Don't think about the fact that that means you should have started at max level and be losing strength as you collect microplastics. Just don't think about it. However, certain folks might be interested in trading for your extra microplastics, so you might want to consider saving some. Don't have enough to spend yet, but only 4 stats in the game. Basically, vitality for health, resistance for making your shell tougher and resisting status effects, attack for physical attacks, and your MSG stat for enhancing your umami-based attacks. Magic attacks, basically, which we'll unlock later. But yeah, there's a lot of lore and theming for this game around like spirals and currents, and some of that comes up later. It's a little bit like Gurren Lagann in that respect, though not nearly to the same over-the-top extent. And we have a collection of the different shells we can find. Our goal is to get back our home. As soon as I get this back, everything can go back to normal. I'm sure it won't be that hard to accomplish, wasn't it? How bad could it be? Hey, it's Mr. Sharky again. There you are. Wow, you're awful persistent. I think I've been pretty clear with you, kid. This shell's the property of the Duchess now. Oh, you're awfully good at talking with your mouth full, aren't you? Don't think about it. If you want it back, take it up with her, not me. My work is done here. Come on, man. There's got to be something I can do. Yeah, now that you mention it, I can think of something. You're gonna lick my freaking ventral fins and stop bothering me. Later, kid. Ah, the sky! I reached the shallows. As we can see, this is the shallows of Slack Tide. Excuse me, friendly fellow. Can you help? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't see your type leaving the tide pool too often. Yeah, well, I didn't have a choice. Can you tell me what's going on here? I heard there's, like, a Duchess in charge now. Yep, sure is. Real piece of work. Takes all my hard-earned microplastics every tide just for existing around here. And what do I see for it? Nothing. Just keeps building up her castle and hiring more soldiers to defend it. Oh, that's cool. Where can I find her? I think she has something of mine. Al, just look around for a moment and you'll probably figure it out. Or did you miss that huge castle in the distance? Okay, great. I'll head over there. Hopefully she can get rid of my taxes for me. Oh, I see how it is. You're some kind of freeloader, are you? Bet you think you can skirt your taxes while the rest of us keep this society together, do you? You just said... You hermit crabs are all the same, wearing the shells the rest of us worked so hard to create with our own mantles. You ought to have stayed in your tide pool, small fry. Hey, I never did anything to you, man. Yeah, well, how's about I do something to you? Angry snail. Oh, that's actually an update. I don't think he dropped a shell before that you could pick up. Why does everyone in this place try to kill me? The shell doesn't even fit! Right. Calm down, Krill. This is the most dangerous situation you've been in since seagull breeding season. But all you gotta do is make it to that castle, like the rude Snail said. It sounds like that Duchess controls the taxes around here, so I bet the shark took my shell to her. I'm sure once I tell her what's going on, this can all be resolved and I can go right back to sleep. I think, actually, I was just forgetting that this had dropped to trigger that dialogue. Waste of time. There's no way I'm fitting in this thing. But yeah, I think one of this game's bullet points, actually, in the store listings, like among the game features, is like a rude snail. That was the rude snail. As far as I know, it's the only snail enemy in the game. Just that one random guy in the beginning. I don't remember meeting any other snail characters you can talk to either. It's mostly crabs. But, yep. So, seems like so we can wander around and fight random enemies and pick up random stuff if we want. But there's a pretty clearly marked path to where we need to go, so I'm going to mostly follow that. Follow the colorful road. Follow the microplastic road. Follow the microplastic road. Follow the microplastic road. Barbed hook. We need to collect the fishing wire before we can use our barbed hooks. But then we can spear foes to reel them in. Why are you going on the... Oh yeah, that's right, the path sort of branches. Not following the central path, but whatever. There's the random anchovies hanging around, as you see. Oh, what's this? Back, ruffians! Back, I say! You there, I don't suppose you'd lend a claw to a fellow in need. I dare say I'll die for sure if you don't. I can say no to a polite request like that. I'm not the type of hermit crab to leave someone in need. Unless that need is a distraction from the seagulls, in which case you're on your own. Once again. Alright, you can fuck off. Enemies sometimes drop heart kelp pods, not very often, but once in a while. You can also find them around the environment. You see someone right over there. Plain swordsmanship, my boy. I dare say these ruffians have become bolder and bolder as of late. But that's just life on the frontier. How exciting. Why not move away if it's so dangerous? And give up this prime land the Duchess offered me? No way, Moray. The Duchess gave you land? Isn't there land all over the place? Ah, the simple insights of country folk. This really is the life. You deserve something for saving my carapace, country boy. Surely this could be of use. Good luck with your country travels. Got a Bloodstar limb. Severed limb of a Bloodstar, easily regenerated by the host creature. Collect 4 more to increase your vitality. Yeah, you just get a vitality stat boost if you collect 5 of those. Stay resolute, lad. These vandals have numbers, but you have the skill and resolve of a country boy. That'll see us through for sure. Also, I feel like that might actually be the only side quest in the game. I can't remember any other instances where you like do something for someone and then they give you a reward that's not tied to progressing the main plot. I might be misremembering something, but at most there's 1 or 2 others. Good timing to ask about that. I just collected a few pieces of one of the main upgrade currencies in the game. These, I forget what they're called, umami crystals, I think is what they're called. But yeah, you unlock a place later, you can spend them to upgrade your skill tree, basically. Even though I have 6, I can't spend them yet to unlock the teleportation warp ability just yet. Junk inventory. What was it? The other thing you spend is just the microplastics, the currency. There are some shops in the game where you can spend it and sell those, like red claws and other currency type items. Yeah. So the early part of the game isn't too punishing, generally. Let's just stop in at a new checkpoint. Save and refresh our kill. Yep, there's a bunch of them around. Oh, and this area has a bunch of these popsicle sticks. Why did the lobster blush? He pissed himself. Halt, trespasser! By order of the Duchess, all suspicious characters are to be barred from Slacktide. Suspicious? I thought I looked pretty harmless. Downright adorable. Huggable, even. Perhaps lips you have speaketh true, vagrant, but I shalt ne'er grantest thou entry twixt these mighty gates, whilst thy loins remain ungirded. Excuse me? Dude, take a hint. She's saying you're naked. Oh, yeah. I guess I hadn't thought about that. Is that important these days? I feel like society's really moved on without me while I've been practicing self-care. Sure seems like it. Duchess would have our heads if we let you in wearing nothing but a rag. Fret not, little crustacean. Nearby to the east lieth a repository laden with complimentary garmentry. Face the gate and turn right, and you'll find a charity center where you can get something to wear. Our captain is stationed there right now, I think. Great guy. He'll get you sorted. Sounds cool. And then you'll let me in? Assuming nothing sketchy comes up in your background check, sure. Away with you, vagabond, and dare not to return till thy bod possess some dignity. Yep. Away with you, vagabond. Sorry, civilian. Can't let you in until you find some clothes. Face the gate and turn right, and you can meet up with the captain. He'll help you out. So, There's some places where you can glitch through things and sequence break. It's probably possible to glitch through the walls somehow, but I haven't really found a way to get in without your shell. There's a few people you can talk to over here to the left, optionally. I'll let you pass, but don't distract our soldiers too much. We gotta train hard to keep the enemy at bay, or at Gulf, or Cove, or Strait, wherever they come from. What are you, Private? Ma'am, a clump of sand, ma'am! And what is a clump of sand good for, Private? Ma'am, to form the walls of Slacktide, ma'am! And what is Slacktide to you, Private? Ma'am, the prettiest place in the ocean, ma'am! You're goddamn right, Private. Okay, I think these are all just one repeating dialogue. Hey, you seen Kelvin recently? Oh, he shipped out. Part of the expedition to the Moon Caves. Aren't they supposed to be back by now? They must be struggling to find something for the Duchess. Poor folks, remember the last time an expedition returned empty-handed? Oh God, don't remind me. Poor troop became shells of their former selves. Maybe literally. There's some moon snail and moon shell stuff in the Moon Cove, yeah. It isn't easy to make it into the Slacktide Royal Guard. Every crab you see has worked their carapaces off to get where they've got. I don't know what you think you'll find up here, but you ain't gonna get the chance, small fry. Not till you progress later with the story. Or find a way to glitch through, which is totally possible to do. This trash revolution is wonderful, isn't it? Seems like it was only yesterday we were picking heart kelp out of the weeds with our bare claws. Truly, the advance of technology has been a boon for our society with literally zero downsides. Agreeable footman is the first one. Complacent footman is the second one. Sociable footman says, "Wow, what a coincidence that all three of us share the exact same opinion on this. Indubitably, our aligning political beliefs are what make us the very best of friends." Never paid too much attention to what their names were before, actually. Lobster Guard, Slacktide Footman. Okay, nothing interesting here. Concerned Footman and Ambivalent Footman. Okay, that one's a bit more of a joke. Yes, Lobster Guards. Alright, so it sounds like if we want to advance, we gotta head off to the east, where there seems to be a fallen vending machine or something. And they're saying we can get a shell there. She's a Dungeness crab, actually. Mild spoiler, technically, but who cares? There's not that much logic or rhyme or reason to the species relationships among the intelligent species in this game. Though there is a tiny bit of maybe some hints of like social or class stuff and a bit of stuff with hermit crabs in particular that eventually gets mentioned here and there. I miss having the dashing stab attack. That's handy for opening combats with, once you get it. Coming up from behind while I'm dealing with some other asshole. You get the stabbies. Alright to get up there. Guess I need to go around about from the other way. Trying to make sure that guy didn't get up on me. I think it's possible to make this jump. Seems to be strong. Whatever. It's not going to be anything that valuable anyway. I could do it, but I'm pretty sure it's just another bread claw or something. I don't want to waste time. I've already done the completionist thing and grabbed up every little bit and bauble in my first playthrough, and there's nothing particularly unique. It's just consumable items like that, mostly money ones, and some of these crystals scattered around, and one or two of those like stowaway things. I guess I could just do this. Let's see. Yep, and it's a bread claw. Called it. It's kind of an annoyingly long time before you actually find the first shopkeeper where you can sell any of these things, actually. So for a long time, you're just collecting them with no way to spend them. Look, a convenient stockpile to replenish your health. I'm sure that has no significance. Totally unsuspicious video game generosity there. Totally unsuspicious dead body by the vending machine. Let's push the button. Unsuspicious other dead body at the other end of the vending machine. A soda can that we can wear as a shell. Phew, now I can get in to see the Duchess. This shell chafes like heck compared to mine. Who even made this thing? Found a weird metal shell. Press and hold L1 to hide inside your shell. Wearing a shell reduces damage taken. Hiding it will divert all damage to your shell health. So yeah, pretty much all shells act as like 100% shield while you're fully enclosed in them. You can crawl around slowly even while you're in this full block mode. And, let's go through this.
Oh, crab. I'm sorry. Was I supposed to grab a ticket?
You think yourself above the law, but the law is not so easily outwitted. By its strength alone do we rise above the beasts.
I'm really sorry. I'll go to the back of the line, okay?
You should be so lucky. I'll have your head like I have these other worthless law breakers.
First boss fight against this captain of the guard those guys said was so nice. Presumably. Never established all that explicitly. This guy does seem more coherent than most of the included things we see, but it does seem like the best explanation for why someone they were saying was nice would suddenly be so violent. This guy can be a tough boss, but you can kind of trap him into this constantly circling rightward motion that I've got him in. And here they introduce that if you see that icon, bad news because it's an unblockable attack that your shell can't block. So usually it involves them grabbing you somehow out of your shell. I think I could just lock him into this forever, but I'll play fair and let him get out of his doom spiral. You notice if I'm dashing when I tuck into my shell, I actually roll around in it. And only like round-shaped shells can do that. Yep. Let's go. Hurdy. Okay. Having a hard time getting to a replacement shell for the one that he broke. Okay, good. He's doing a dash. Which gives me a chance to do that. I'm out of heart kelp, but he's low on health too. Oh, that's right. These lobster guys have donkey kicks. Got him. First try. First try.
Run the law forever, kid.
Pollution scoured. That was self-defense, right? That's gotta be self-defense. Anyone would agree. He came at me like a crazy guy. What was I supposed to do? Shuck, shuck, shuck. Okay, play it cool, Grill. Play it cool. If anyone asks, he just tripped and broke his leg. And landed on a sword. Several times. That activated a new bonfire. Alright. Soda can is added to our shell collection. Popular shell due to its sturdiness and simplicity, indecipherable markings line the outside. Might as well spend some of these microplastics we've been collecting. So let's see. I think I'm gonna just get up my attack a little bit. It ought to be pretty significant early on, and a little more health will also help to avoid being one shot. And early on, you obviously don't want to put anything into MSG before you have anything to do with it, but the other three stats are all useful. Being able to make your shell... I'm pretty sure the shell resistance bonus is like subtractive, so leveling that up enough to make your shells near indestructible to early enemies can be a good strategy. I think that might have been one of the main things I focused on in my first playthrough. Let's see. Durashell. There's a lot of little environmental gags like that with the trash and stuff around. I should, sometime later, we should take a minute to read the label for "So Help Me God." If this isn't butter, I'm going to completely lose it. Sorry, what was that? I don't think there was anything, but I can take another look. We found the captain cloak for the Long Claw of the Law, back where Captain Nephro dashed down from. So there are little different outfits you can cycle between. Oh, the light, that's the invisible wall at the boundaries of the map area. So you can't explore beyond this point, even though it looks like you could. And these little fortifications are destructible, for the record. Need to find a new shell, because this one's almost broken, but now that we've unlocked the ability to have shells, there's some littered around the earlier area that just weren't there previously for no clear reason. But now conveniently are. Oh, and yeah, I don't know if you noticed all the strung up corpses of Nephro's other victims up here. I was running just up to the top of the hill mainly to show you one other fun thing you can do with a shell that's round enough for you to roll in. If you go downhill, you can pick up speed and turn into a damaging charge roll. So that's a lot of fun. Can also just be a good way to cover ground fast if you happen to be heading downhill. I might have looked like an idiot there, but I was trying to do a parry move by releasing the shell right as the attack's about to hit. I think I was forgetting that that's an unlockable ability in the skill tree, not something you start out with. Accidentally took off my shell. You can pop off a shell by holding down triangle. That's the same button for pickup item. So as I was trying to pick up that art kelp that was floating through the air, I accidentally ditched my shell. And with that attack boost, I can one-shot those guys now with my charge attacks. And those, the smallest of the crab enemies, too. So that helps a lot. Your return, exhibitionist. And draped appropriately, no less. I trust you spoke with the captain. The captain? Funny, I must have missed him. Missed him, huh? That's pretty weird. ... Whatever, you're not nude anymore, and that's what counts. Hark! A wary vagabond doth grace our gates. Pray I would see them part foot. Open the gate, Nate. You got it, says Nate. Hey, I feel like there's an awful amount of violence around here. I thought the whole point of the Duchess was to make things safe. Go tell her all about it, kid. See how quickly you get kicked back to your tide pool. That's politics for you. Get moving, kid. It's bad enough standing around all day without dealing with weirdos like you. A truly curious wanderer. What has possessed your mind with such strange thoughts? Not sure exactly what strange thoughts she's talking about, but hey, a new shell. Banana peel. It's a pretty shitty shell in most respects, but it does have a couple of hidden advantages. A husk of a once delicious plant, now mostly useful for comedic effect. Actually, I'll just tell you one of the advantages of the... Well, that is... like the non-hidden advantage. There are different shell weight classes. And by the way, the defense stat is what percentage of damage the shell absorbs if you aren't actively blocking it. So even if you get hit by an attack when you aren't blocking, your shell will, whatever shell you're currently wearing, will still reduce the damage slightly compared to if you are naked. But as you see for the banana peel, it's very low. Now, even the banana peel will still absorb 100% of the damage if you're blocking, but it also has a low durability, so it'll break fast like that. But the banana peel has a hidden advantage that the unblockable grab attacks, like the ones with the red icon. Well, not all of them are grab attacks, but the ones that are, if you're wearing the banana peel and you get hit by them, you'll slip out of it, and they'll waste their attack just destroying your shell, while you can grab a new shell and or get a few free hits in on them. There's also one enemy later on, a boss who has a secret banana allergy. So if you get him to grab your banana shell and eat it, he'll take a ton of damage. And there might be one or two other shells that have the slippery property too, but the banana peel's the only one I know of for sure. At least that I can remember offhand. But before we go into Slack Tide, I actually want to take a digression and say hi to a fellow who we could have met earlier, but I didn't wander that way in this playthrough. Let's, for no particular reason, see what's off to the east here. There are a couple other people you can talk to on some of these other pillars. I forget which ones have them. I don't fuck it up and die to this asshole. Oh, look, he looks friendly. Let's go say hi to the Royal Shell Splitter, a hidden field boss, who's kind of like the, what you call it, the Moonlight Sentinel. Who's that first knight boss guy you find in Elden Ring? You can fight, and the tryhards will fight. Oh, stream froze. Is it, it's back? Okay. Let me know if you weren't hearing. What was the last thing I was saying that you heard? I was talking about how this guy's basically an optional area boss. Of course, I already have. This guy's also, like, these guys show up as non-boss, just elite field enemies later in the game. So from that, and from fighting this guy early in the game in my first playthrough, I'm kind of familiar with his moveset. Okay, so the first time you stagger an enemy, or at least a boss, it introduces this balance and capsize. Max out their balance meter to open them to being capsized, then when it's flashing, hit them with a powerful attack to knock them down for several seconds. Okay, now let's get a replacement shell. Heal up a little. That's like a fear attack thing. If he fills up that gauge, you'll be forced to cower in your shell until the status disappears. Sometimes charged attacks can work. Good if he's like locked into an attack, like there when he's like doing the multiple quick slams in front of him. He's not really open immediately, but he's busy immediately, so I can charge up an attack that'll hit him as soon as he does the last of the slams. The blue icon wasn't really explained, I don't think, but those are crush attacks that you can block, but they might deal some damage to you even through your shell, and more importantly, they tend to do a massive amount of damage to your shell, often enough to break it in one hit, so you don't really want to block them, but they're not as unblockable as the red attacks. Alright, so he was carrying some umami crystals and a clothes claw, a hefty chunk of plastic in the shape of a crab's claw worth 1,000 microplastics. Actually, any enemy with, like, purple glowing eyes is, like, an elite enemy that drops a few of those upgrade umami crystals if you beat them. There's a couple others of them scattered around this slack-tide area. Alright, so obviously it took me quite a few tries to beat him for the first time in my own playthrough. But then again, actually, if I remember right, in my first playthrough, I actually beat him on hard mode because I fought him before getting the shell. I just decided to keep bashing my head against that wall until I beat him right after I first found him, which was shortly after first entering this area, and I didn't have my shell yet. So I pulled that off. Good for me. Let's see. There's other stuff I could explore, but don't want to go on too much longer for today, but let's at least meet the Duchess. And well, maybe we could go into the Moon Snail cave too. We can see. Oh, another blood starling. Why did the crab cross the road? He is a tax fugitive. But when does the combat music start playing? When you see an enemy. That one's better than the first two. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think enemies, like, hitting onto your shell raises their capsize meter a tiny bit. Like, puts them off damage to hit your guard. But, yeah, I guess let's just get a move on back towards Slack-Tide. I'm going in the right direction, right? Yes, I am. Actually. Oh, yeah, you could, and I'm pretty sure I've tried doing that, and no, unfortunately, they don't have it. No one in there has any reaction for you going about naked, despite how much of a fuss they made about it. Back here, they'll just let me walk on in, or I'll hold on to it for a second just because this is downhill. Slightly, not really, not enough to matter. But there is actually a different dialogue route. If you go to the right and fight Captain Nephro and get your first shell before you first talk to these two guys, well, this one guy and this girl, they have entirely different dialogue. Well, not entirely different, but they're not commenting about you being naked, and they say a few other things. That, unfortunately, is one of the few instances in the game where they do have a substantially different, like, dialogue prepped for a different order of you doing things. Captain takes his job very seriously and expects the same for us all. We've been doing drills non-stop since high tide. Honestly, there's nothing important back here, but we still can't have crabs scuttle around where they please. If you're looking for something shiny, you'd probably have better luck in the caves west of there. If you can get up there at least. So yeah, invisible wall here. Can't walk past this guy. Can't get here till later. At least not normally. Now, you can actually, by jumping down from some high points you can get to later, you can get into a bunch of areas of this castle at this point in the game that you're not supposed to. Well, that's a little later on. Once I get to a high position, I can jump to. Jump from. If you land back in that area or in one of two areas, they do have scripting for him to yell at you and force you out of it. But actually, other places it's pretty poorly handled, like those lobsters. I think there's another one up around here, actually. Yeah, like these guys who are blocking other routes. Don't know what you want up this tower, but no chance, hatchling. Don't you have more pressing matters? Like, you can come at him from behind if you break into the areas you're not supposed to be, and you talk at him from behind, and he still has the same exact dialogue, and it's still an invisible wall, but now you can't pass through it from the other direction. So they don't have error handling for these guys or for most other things. But just a couple of those areas with the guys in front of them, they do. I think mainly because if you fell there at this point of the game, you would actually be stuck there and unable to get out if that also acted like a two-way invisible wall. So they probably did catch that one as a priority bug during QA. Sculptures around here can be hit or miss, but I kind of dig this one. Ow. He digs it because it's a shovel. I get it. That's a lot of people. What are you in line for? Paying my taxes, same as everyone. But to be honest, getting to see the Duchess's beauty in person is almost worth the trip in itself. Now, remember what we talked about, Vito? Don't speak when the Duchess is speaking, or she'll chop me head off. That's a good boy. What are you here for? Begging the Duchess not to demolish my house for a new food court. You know how it is. What did you bring to pay your taxes with? I found this shiny little thingamajig digging through the sand over by the drop-off. That thing? She's probably got 100 of those already. You're going to get thrown out of the throne room. Glad I have at least a snack while I wait for my audience with the Duchess. That snack looks a little ashy. It's a bit of an acquired taste, but it's the latest thing in the big city. Ew. Are you okay? You look like you're going to steam inside your shell. I'm just stressed, okay? It's a big deal to meet with the Duchess. Hurry along, civilian. It's not every day our Duchess takes visitors. What are you looking at? Treasure. Oh, and you can break a lot of these sand thingies, too. Alright, well, I'm sure none of these people will mind if I just skip in line and charge straight into the throne room. Oh, what, they mind? Hey, where do you think you're going, chum? I'm gonna go see this Duchess lady? Oh yeah? Just gonna walk in and see the Duchess, huh? What do you think we're all standing around for, a tour? Come back when you've made an appointment like the rest of... Actually, due to a gap in her schedule, our Royal Duchess is receiving walk-ins for the next 15 minutes. Wait, huh? Oh, neat. I'll head on in, then. No appointment. Hello, friend. What's in this room? No way. Sheepish guard. I was supposed to clean up back here, but I haven't had a chance yet. I don't want you to see it. Just give me, like, a few minutes, okay? I promise I'll get it done. What's over here? Word of advice, civilian. Your presence here is a privilege. Don't scuttle around where you aren't asked. That's all he has to say for now. Yes, you can, in fact. See? So, decent amount, actually. So they are obstacles. There's the throne room. There's these side passages, side gardens you can look around, but nothing really to do in here. I don't know what you think you'll find up here, but you ain't gonna get the chance. They have, I think these are supposed to be like plants, display plants under glass or something. Or, oh, you can actually harvest them. I thought you couldn't harvest them. Don't know how you can harvest them, but you can apparently. I don't think there's anything particular to see over here either, but the scenery is kind of pretty. Alright, here we are in the audience chamber / throne room. Cutscene.
Speak.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I, recently had my shell taken away, and I was wondering if there's any way we could work out some sort of a...
Do you like my castle, little hermit?
Your castle? Oh, it's pretty neat, I guess.
You guess? A lot of work went into this place, you know? Work made possible by generous contributions from citizens like yourself. And it was worth it, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Look, I can find another way to pay my taxes, but for now, I'd really just like to...
Even more gorgeous than the coral reefs, wouldn't you say?
I've never been to... I mean, yeah, absolutely. The reefs are super overrated. Everyone says so.
Oh, perhaps we can work out a deal, little hermit. But first, I'll need something from you. My castle still lacks a certain panache, pizzazz, flair. Je ne sais quoi. A platoon went out on my behalf to recover something shiny and gorgeous from the cave to the west. But those buffoons haven't reported in since. Such incompetence. Climb the western tower to begin your journey to the cave. Then catch up with my platoon and help recover something worthy of my beauty. Return to me with trinket in claw, and we can speak of delaying your tax payments for no longer than 2 calendar tides.
What tremendous generosity.
Okay, thank you. I won't let you down. I'll get you the shiniest thing I can. Oh yeah, I also wanted to mention the crazy murderous crabs outside trying to...
Begone, little hermit. I tire of you.
Yes, ma'am!
Well, you see where her priorities are. Years filled with sand, little hermit. I gave you a task. Turn to me with an object worthy of my beauty, or do not return at all. Yes, ma'am. She's like sitting in a jewelry case, and I think that's an earring she's holding. Either that or some kind of like fishing lure. Alright, Western Tower, she said. Yellow exclamation marks. Hey, can I get by here? Does it look like it? A shipment of the fort's defensive urchins got spilled out across the hall. It's really got the Duchess up in arms. She's already executed 5 people over it. Whoa. Well, I really gotta get by here. The Duchess's orders. Duchess's orders, huh? Alright, tell you what. I think there's some leftover gear in the room across the hall that could help you get into this tower. Just don't go blaming me if you get yourself hurt. Okay, thank you. Okay. I don't think think there's anything up here. Let's find out. Or die. Dying's an option too. Oopsie daisy. Sometimes that can happen if you get ping-ponged between two of them. It's not a good time. You died! When you're slain, you'll drop all your microplastics, and your shell if you had one, in the spot where you died. Be careful when you go to pick them up. If you die again while they're still on the ground, they'll be lost forever. So yeah, standard Souls-like rules. So this game does have a bunch of like accessibility, difficulty options to make the game easier. So even though it's already like kind of easier than most games, you can turn on buffs like extra shell durability, reduced damage taken, lower enemy health, other things. And one of them, I think, is like recover microplastics immediately. Okay, yep, you noticed. Yep, that's the prevent microplastics loss on death. That's it. But yeah, you can choose this little option here and give Krill a gun. So this kills everything in one hit, including bosses. And it also has like 1,000,000 durability. So yeah, makes the game a little easier. Bang, 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 bang. Let's turn that back off. I was planning on showing that off later. Oh yeah, there is a recover microplastics option instantly. Yeah. It is a large weight gun. That's about the shell. That's about the only disadvantage to it. Where'd I? There's my souls. Alright, let's see what I died for. Or died trying to get to. I'll limp it. It actually is something kind of interesting because it's my first stowaway. The tiny snail adheres to rocks so strongly that removing it by force will also often kill it. +2 resistance while equipped. You found your first stowaway, little friend. Can equip in the status menu for sorts of benefits, but their bonuses only apply while you're wearing a shell, so don't take them for granted. Not 100% sure why that's a game mechanic. You don't tend to spend much of your time without a shell, but yeah, you can only equip up to 3 stowaways at a time, and only as long as you have enough points for them. You start with 3 stowaway points. But +2 resistance is actually quite good at this very early part of the game. Now, and you can block these sea urchins with your shell. Not that you have much reason to. Actually, there is one point in the game later on where you have a very good reason to repeatedly bash your face into a sea urchin, and so that makes it a lot easier to do it without dying. Alright, I need to go the other way. Also, was there something behind us? I don't remember. Nope, doesn't look like it. At least not now. I think there might be later. Alright, I guess I can let you in if you're on a Duchess-approved mission. I didn't really want you to see the mess back here. Just find what you need and skedaddle, okay? And please don't tell anyone. I'll have it cleaned up soon. Promise. So there's all sorts of lovely details to observe in the environment here, like cow water, aka milk, or Mario cigarettes instead of Marlboro. And with other random funny text on them. There's all sorts of nonsense. I don't want to stop and read every little bit of it, but these cigarettes will carcinize you. I think that's not just like the crab reference into cancer, but also I think these giant ominous labels are sort of a reference to the giant warning labels cigarettes have in Mexico and some other places, or at least used to have, that just say like smoking kills in giant black letters. The story I always heard was that they started doing that after the like Mexican Surgeon General's wife died of lung cancer or something. So he made them put giant and utterly blunt warning messages on all the tobacco labels. Don't know if that's true or not, but I know that they have those labels, or at least you did at some point when I was like taking a vacation to Cancun. I doubt it, but yeah, you can crawl on these things, by the way. You probably noticed. And there's like the Uncrustables parody, Schmuckers Uncrustworthies, that have all sorts of hideous ingredients if you read what flavors these are supposed to have, like tartar sauce and shrimp sandwich or something. Cheesy crust, or cheesy guns, toasted sulfur, something or other over there. This room was supposed to be cleaned up like 2 tides ago. First the urchin spill blocking the west tower, now this. No way I'll be able to meet up with my platoon in time. I really wanted to impress the Duchess. I think I forgot to dash. Oh, grape jelly and mozzarella sandwich on white bread. Good. Prepare for major weather. Statesman. What's newt? Nation stand in disbelief. Something. Let's get on with it, though. Oh, Elden Bay seasoning. I think so, yeah. That could also just be like, I think it's more like an old bay, but the Elden Bay. It could even be independent. Oh, a house of cards. Bet it'll go down like a house of cards. Bishop. The fishing string. Hold L2 to aim at a fish hook, then release to grapple towards it. If this house of cards fell apart like it was really shoddily made or something. And then they just vanish. Cheddar cheese and mayo sandwich on white bread. Yummy. Tartar sauce and vinegar sandwich. So yeah, we can use this to grapple now, including I think to some secret things, or maybe not. I guess this is just the way back. But I don't want you to umami shell. Includes natural charcoals and saltpeter, the snack that fires back. But I can't ignore my favorite parody in the game. I swear to God, if this isn't butter, I'm seriously going to lose it. The original. And then if you can read the whole blurb on the back. Let's see. The only, and I mean the only thing maintaining my tenuous grasp on reality and preventing me from having a full-blown, irreversible nervous breakdown in the middle of the dairy aisle is the unshakable knowledge that within this package is a genuine stick of butter and not margarine or any other similar substitute. Any other substitute? I've times. I seriously can't take it again. Or no, I've been cheated so much, I've been lied to so many times, I seriously can't take it again. I almost don't even want to open the package. Whatever, here goes. So yeah, I just like that a lot. I mean, at least for writing, I mean, in terms of conceptualizing, though, like, you had to come up with all these ideas and then make the actual art assets for it. Or that was just a block of text. But I still, a good piece of writing, I think. Oh, this thing. Alright, thanks for pointing that out. Sea Star, +3 vitality. Not bad. The legends say that these can grant any wish. They're wrong, though. Yeah, they got all the spare weapons, racks of straws and Q-tips and such lined up on the walls. No new dialogue from having completed that. But now we can soar on over this petty obstacle and be on our way, safe and undaunted. No urchins can possibly threaten us now. Oh god, an urchin is threatening us now. There's another secret over here. Slow time to aim in midair when you're aiming those fish hooks. Found the rusty nail. A sharp corroded blade more fit for an insect than a crab, which is a Hollow Knight reference. +4 attack, but at the cost of -3 MSG, but you need a minimum stat requirement of 3 resistance to equip it. Do you think that's probably more useful than the 3 vitality right now, especially since I'm not losing anything from the MSG? So you can't quite swim back to where I left off, though, so I have to redo that. I feel like that might be a bit of a glitch that is not supposed to be blocking the pathway like that. They said there are a lot of little bugs and glitches in the game. Oh, Shell, are you okay? I can't believe I dropped it. I'm so stupid. I had one job, and it was to hold that urchin in place until the captain comes back. Now that I think about it, he might have been joking around. Classic Captain Nephro, a golden smile and the joyful heart of a prankster. What a great guy. Anyway, sorry I almost killed you there. Shortcut. I found a barnacle. Mobile arthropod with a tough shell often found attached to larger structures. +10 defense, which can be very good if you got a shell with already very high defense, like bringing its shell up from, say, 60 to 70% damage reduction is a big deal. But not so much for like 30 to 40. Not gonna equip it right now. Hey, I'm impressed. I didn't think anyone could make it up here with all these urchins spilled everywhere. I've been up here for weeks. Thanks. Still new to grappling around, but I'm getting the hang of it. Could you do me a favor then? Some mates of mine went to survey the moon caves some time ago, and no one's seen them since. If you're heading up this way to the caves, could you keep an eye out for them? this way, I think, just loops back around to that same staircase we just came from. And it's really, now that we're up here, is where you can start to really try and sequence break into some parts. What? Oh, that's another shell. It's not a very good one, but it is like a small weight light shell that's a little more durable than the banana peel. I guess I'll keep it for now, though, just for the mobility, if I'm going to try to start checking out if you wanted to try and see a little of sequence breaky stuff. Right, which way is the intended path, though? Okay, that way. Oh, that's right, this way. It's an invisible wall. Now, let's see, there's a lot of different ways from up here that you can get to places you really aren't supposed to, actually. But let's see. That sludge, as you can probably guess, is bad news if you fall into it. Let's see. Nope, that wasn't quite an out-of-bounds area. This is one of the areas we were at before. But I'll be frank, there's nothing really that interesting to see in the out-of-bounds areas. There's no, like, really NPCs that you would talk to later. Let's see, where's the shortcut I lowered down? I think it's around this way, actually, to the left. Or maybe I'm misremembering. I should have paid better attention. I think maybe it's just near the main entrance and I just missed it. There's some hints here somewhere, just further back. Okay. Yeah, that's easier to get to when you're supposed to backtrack here later. Yeah, I know, but I think I know what one you were referring to. I'll just take the long way and try and remind myself where exactly that shortcut actually comes down when I get back up there again. Yeah, it's not that long a trip, really. Especially when I think the giant urchin will have disappeared by now. That thing's still here, is it? Slip by. And this shell is another one you can roll in. Roly-poly. Alright, so now let's actually just check where this one is. It's here, which is here on the map. So it is just sort of around the side, tucked in the corner. I think maybe I just gave up too soon, and when I started trekking around this way and didn't see it originally. It's just off to the west edge of the castle. But yeah, Yeah, I think another way you can more easily get to places is by running along this wall. I think they put in a few well-placed invisible walls to prevent heavy sequence breaking. But, well, I see that one's something somewhere that you're really not supposed to be. There you go. And yeah, this is solidly a part of the game. You're not a part of the castle you're not supposed to be until later. So yeah, this is like the netting over that entry to the throne room where we walked down that passage earlier. We see the passage is blocked off by these cow waters. They'll be gone later when we're supposed to be here. There's this other door. I'm not sure if this door ever actually opens or not, actually. And these doors, I believe, are how you actually progress through the game to the next area, but they do seem to be well shielded by invisible walls to prevent easy sequence breaking. Yeah, no. You don't use the fish hooks for maneuvering. Yeah, they're consumed only when you use them to attack enemies with, and yeah, you can still traverse with them when you're out of them, regardless of how little sense that makes. Am I stuck? No, just needed a little more determination. Okay, so here I think is where we can, see that these guys aren't very well error-proofed in this regard, and it's an invisible wall, so I can't walk past him to leave. But I think, because of the small team stuff, they did just the bare minimum error-proofing to prevent major sequence breaking and soft blocks. So, like I said, if it was down there's one of the guys who prevents you from walking past him. But if you fall down into the area, hey, trespasser! What's even back here? Get out of here, miscreant! Okay, sorry, ma'am. And teleports you back to the front. I think because if this was a similar invisible wall, you could be stuck. I'm not sure if there's something for you to grapple to get your way out from back there. So yeah, I think let's just go a little bit further to the entrance of the moon caves and then call it a day. Yeah, you can always die as a last resort unstuck, and I had to do that at one point in the regular game when I got stuck in a crevice somewhere I wasn't supposed to be. I was trying to see how far I could explore the edges of the map. There's a lot of level geometry that you can jankily jump your way off of in ways that it feels like you weren't meant to. Not these castle walls, but a lot of places where it's pebbly terrain, sort of. You can get a lot of elevation and climb up parts where things eventually start glitching out and you phase through geometry because clearly they didn't expect you to be there. And yeah, as you can probably guess, that sludge is no good. If it fills up, you get gunked. Poison status effect, basically. Take damage for a while. Tin can. Actually, this is a pretty good shell, not very common. Quite good for the early game. 40 defense, medium weight, higher defense and durability than the soda can shell for the same weight, and it gives a bonus +1 to resistance. A sturdier version of the colorful metal shells often worn by young hermits. These Q-tip wielding guys are actually one of the tougher enemies from this early part of the game. Looks like the moon snail's domain just loaded in. In an effort to recover his home, the plucky hermit crab ventures into a mysterious cave. But he quickly discovers that the return journey will be significantly more challenging. Hello? Who's talking? He approaches the ghostly figure in front of him. Okay, buddy, after I save. Crab suddenly realizes that now is only when he's truly trapped himself, because otherwise he could have just died and respawned back past this point of return. Now he's well and truly fucked himself. Crap! Hi, my name's Krill. Do you know of anything shiny in this cave? Something that might impress, like, a huge, beautiful crab lady? Confused and desperate, the hermit crab begins begging help from strangers. Hey, I'm not desperate. Yet. Thus far, he has persevered by taking refuge in artifacts from beyond the waves. But to survive from here on out, he must awaken the currents inside of him. He must access the power of umami. Umami? Look, if there's some secret I should know about, can you please just tell me what it is? Stuff's been convoluted enough ever since I left the tide pole. Feeling pity for the helpless creature, the noble moon snail deigns to awaken his latent abilities manually. You better not be messing with... Whoa! What the shell was that? I feel tingly. The hermit crab dons a metal shell and feels a new ability awaken. I do? Yes, he does. Umami training, shell spells. While wearing a shell, press square to consume umami charges and activate its unique shell spell. Used umami charges will regenerate slowly when you attack enemies with your fork. And if you check in the description in the menu, all shells now have a description of what their shell spell is. For the tin can, it's shell shock. Transmute your umami into a bolt of lightning, electrifying your shell. So that'll hurt any enemies that hit me while it's electrified. A creature blocks the hermit crab's path. Immune to his physical attacks, it may only be dispatched by his newfound umami power. Excuse me. Well, isn't that convenient? The noble moon snail denies any involvement in manufacturing this scenario. So, yep, like he said, it's immune to physical attacks, though it can still be capsized, apparently. Can be hurt by the electricity or by the bubble spew. That's the soda can's umami spell. The once innocent hermit crab's ability to slaughter his enemies has increased dramatically. Did you have to put it that way? He senses that the reward he seeks lies further within this cavern, as well as the opportunity to meet his newfound idol, mysterious and attractive moon snail in the flesh. Guess I've got no choice. Yeah, these swirls, if you find them, will recharge your umami. So, what is this umami stuff exactly? The hermit crab continues into the cavern, excited to make use of its new ability. You know what? Screw you. I'm tired. I'm taking a nap. That's where I think we should leave it for the day. It's getting late. Well, not that late, but I'd still like to get a couple productive things done for today. So, I think I'm going to head out. No one else tuned into the stream while I was streaming, did they? I don't think so. Let me just double check. My stream manager here. Doesn't look like it. Alright, so I'm just going to end the stream and then unmute myself on the phone in a second.